Well, it is wonderful to see you, Mark. It's wonderful to have you back on the show. I just hit the go live button, so we're in pre-show mode, getting everything fired up. Carl looks like he's dressed for war, and of course, my camouflage outfit doesn't fit anymore. I guess I put on too many pounds during COVID. So.
Hey, I'm doing a cosplay. I'm a traffic cone.
You're a traffic cone. Oh man, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. So, but yeah, we should have a fun little show. We'll see if Mark goes full twig today. So,
well, since I have no show notes and I have no idea what we're going to talk about, hey, you never know.
I figured the best twig is the twig that's not produced.
Absolutely.
So I was going to send you the show plan because I've done it before when you've been on a guest. Like, here's the things we're going to talk about. But on this episode, I said I want Mark fully improv, ready to go, and get his feedback. So, hey, Michael, welcome to the broadcast.
Michael B, Cammy.
Yep, we got Cammy, we got Jerry. What's up, Nacho Libre?
What up, Adam?
Welcome to the show, guys. Okay, we're I think I'm ready. Hey, Devil Waldo. Hey, Visibility. Good to see you, my friend. Let me get this off of here and let me find my stuff. I think am I ready to go? Let me make sure. Okay, I'm ready to go, guys. So before Detroit Love kicks us off with his famous intro, this episode is 19, the Arcade War. We're going to be talking about the arcade news. And, of course, we're going to be talking about Metal Slug throughout the show. And, Mark, you love Metal Slug, which is why we definitely wanted to have you on. So let's get to it. I'm ready for you, Carl.
Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Detroit Love, P-Dubs, and Mark. Get off my lawn. Let's get it started.
Are you ready for a war?
All right, guys, it is Sunday, May 24th, 2020, and you're tuning into another episode of the Loft Report, your arcade and gaming podcast show. With me, as always, is my co-host, partner in crime, Detroit Love. What's up, Carl?
What up, everybody?
And as a special treat for everybody, I brought back the man. He might look like a traffic cone right now. It is Mark Twig Jones from Get Off My Lawn Gaming. How you doing, buddy?
I'm enjoying having a day off from being an essential retail worker. And all those damn Karens that come in my store want to complain about the damn lines. Like, why are you in a hurry? Nothing else is open.
What's the rush, right? What's the rush? Hey, we got a super chat already from Dr. Zohar. $1.99 just coming in to show support. Hi, bye, LOL. Well, Zohar, I hope you hang around, buddy. You don't have to leave.
Thanks, Zohar.
Yeah, I can talk about Mortal Kombat if you want me to keep them on. Get those super chats coming.
Hey, Zohar, this is a Mortal Kombat episode. We fooled you. No, I'm totally kidding. So, yeah, wonderful. Good to see all these guys. We got Bobby from To Die For in the chat. Bobby, make sure you guys check out his channel. Hit that subscribe button.
What up, JC from Pulsar Arcades? Yeah. What up, brother?
And Reese is drunk in Australia, so he's ready. He's ready for the arcade war. So we appreciate that. Okay, guys. So let's kind of get to it. So for starters, a quick backstory. So back during CES in January, I put together a series of videos using a Star Wars theme to kind of like highlight and hype up CES. I called it the Arcade Wars series. If you guys check those videos out on my channel, I made cute little thumbnails with Star Wars theme references, like, you know, the Return of the Shock, Toy Shock, or AtGames Strikes Back, Arcade 1-Up Pinball and New Hope. And, I called it Arcade Wars with the Star Wars logo. And it was just for a few videos. I thought it'd be a great way to tie all the videos together. And
so what was iiRCade? Were they Starship Troopers?
Well, they weren't out at that time. Well, I mean, no, they were at CES, but I didn't cover them at all. So what's interesting is, it was just meant to say, hey, It's a cute way to tie the videos together, and I'm thinking that these companies are going to go to war in 2020, right? They all want our dollars, right? They all want to be in our houses. Now, unfortunately, it's more fortunately. I mean, it was just a 3-video gimmick. I let it die. But I got to tell you guys, it's heating up, especially now, right after CES, everything kind of slowed down. Like there was no news, nothing to talk about, right? COVID. I mean, the world shut down. But now that these companies are getting back to business, the states are waking up. It does seem like these companies now are pushing their marketing, pushing their products, and getting ready to release new products. Some of them already have, like Arcade 1-Up. And I just wanted to touch base and get your guys' thoughts. Do you guys think that here in 2020, let's kick it over to you, Carl. Is this the start of the arcade wars? Is this actually going to happen? Because there's been some mudslinging and some advertisements, which I'll show you shortly.
Well, yeah, everything slowed down, but clearly this year should have been a lot more exciting so far, but COVID definitely has slowed it down. I like any competition. Anytime you got new players coming on board, that's definitely going to spice things up. You see with the this pinball back here, I love that machine modified. I didn't mind it too much when the way Toy Shock released it, but once that comes out, that's obviously going to spice up the wars for sure. This iiRCade thing, I'm like Mark. I don't see I don't see it. But any new player in the game makes it a better game for all of us. So I'm excited for what's coming down the pike for sure.
Well, before we get Mark's thoughts on that, Zohar gave us another super chat. Zohar, we really appreciate it. He goes, "What up, Mark? Thanks for doing the MK video last year. It changed everything for Arcade 1-Up. And for me, peace. Now I'm out." Guys, we lost Zohar. I guess we only held him for 7 minutes and he jumped ship. So sorry to hear that. Mark, what do you think? And I know you pay attention to what these companies are advertising, AtGames, iiRCade, Arcade 1-Up. What are you thinking? Are you thinking that we're seeing some mudslinging? Do these guys, are they actually competing against each other, or are they just promoting themselves? What do you think?
I think it's more along the lines of them promoting themselves. Number one, I don't mind mudslinging. I do plenty of that on my own. So I don't mind that a bit.
Right.
But as far as the competition, look, AtGames, their Legends cabinets and these Arcade 1-Up cabinets are not going after the same customer.
Correct.
They're not.
Correct.
Nope.
The Legends cabinet is going after the college kids or the people that just want to be one and done, and they don't really give two shits about the way it looks, obviously, because the way it looks.
Right.
They're getting that for the games. They're getting that for the not portability, but the ability to put their own ROMs on it and things like that. With the Arcade 1-Up, they're going after quantity. Now that they see what their market is, I don't think they initially set out to do that. But once they saw people starting posting game rooms with multiple cabinets, I think that is what and the feedback that the community gave them about the Karate Champ cabinet is why Burger Time came out the way that it did. Because people want multiple cabinets. So it's not the same customer base. So there's a lot of people that are forcing comparisons in much the same way that saying AtGames is a toaster oven and Arcade 1-Up is a toaster. They both make toast, but they do it in very different forms, in very different fashions.
Love that analogy. I love it.
So it's the fanboys of one or the other. It's like Sony versus Xbox. For some reason, you can't like both, or you're disingenuous. That's a load of shit. I have all three current general consoles, and I play them all three, and I love all three of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the other players in the game, the pinball thing, I'm not really that up on because I don't own one.
Right.
And now that I'm pretty much out of room, I don't even know if I really want one. But once the Arcade 1-Up comes out with their pinball machine, I think it's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, that pinball machine it's going to have a lot of the bells and whistles we want to see at a cost-effective price. Haptic feedback. It's going to have Wi-Fi. It sounds like the Wi-Fi is only going to have the ability to download like updates to games like Bally Williams games and things like that, but not the ability to purchase and buy more games to put them on your cabinet.
Well,
And
people will find a way.
Well, yeah, but in regards to Arcade 1-Up, that's never been their business model anyway. Their model is we want you to buy as many cabinets as possible, right? So I doubt that they'll give us the ability to. You have all you need to do is buy one pinball machine from us, and we'll eventually let you buy all the Zen pinball games. Let me know, guys, in the chat if you agree with me or not. Definitely would love to see your feedback, because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
See, that's the interesting thing. The most interesting thing about this whole process with Arcade 1-Up is I know for a fact they did not start this line with people buying multiples in mind. It just grew that way organically, and then the company smartly pivoted towards that in their strategy, because they started seeing pictures of people with 4 or 5 cabinets.
Right.
No, Mike B, the Game Genie, is saying he thinks the days of physically seeing the Arcade 1-Up in the stores might be done. I disagree there.
Me too.
You know, again, we are a super fan group people. You know, they want the masses. They want the masses. There's no way they're going to turn away from the masses, and sticking those things in stores and getting more eyeballs on it is what helped Arcade 1-Up grow, and they're definitely not going to turn away from that.
Yeah.
So by the same token, they've already proven at least the $299 price point. We can agree with that. They've done that with the stripped down versions of no riser and no marquee and no added functions like that. Just the regular standard. They've already proven that price model, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they start doing nothing but direct to consumer, they skip the middleman, the retailer, and they make the entire 100% of the profit. So I do agree with Michael to an extent. I don't think it's anytime soon, but I do think that is where they're pivoting to. And I think they're using things like Burger Time as the proof of concept to see they're only going to produce 3,000 of them or whatever the case may be. It's lower overhead. And if they prove that, then they get to keep 100% of their profit. They're just going to have to come up with some way of housing them in a fulfillment center, for lack of a better term, here in the States.
Yeah, they definitely have to do something better, because a lot of people have yet to receive their Burger Time cabinets.
Well, with this one, I think it's unique because of the circumstances in the world right now.
Yeah, true. Like honestly, I don't have my Burger Time cabinet yet, and I'm not crapping on Arcade 1-Up because I don't have it. I get it. I understand what's happening overseas. Now the chat's really flying, so forgive me, guys, if I can't keep up with the chat. We're doing our best. But when it comes to, is Walmart not going to carry Arcade 1-Up in store anymore? I don't believe that that's true. I think Arcade 1-Up is still going to be in store. For example, the Walmart here in my town, I live in a small suburb about 30 miles south of Phoenix. So I live in a small town. So of course, my store was one of the stores that had a clearance sale. They had cabinets marked down to $50, and they got rid of what they had because it was just sitting there collecting dust. But guess what, guys? I was in Walmart the other day, and sure enough, they had restocked, and they were all full price. They got rid of the Galagas and the Final Fights and all that kind of stuff. And now they had a ton of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cabinets that they were selling for like $349, like $50 off. But they were there, they were in store. This was after the fire sale. So if people are thinking that Walmarts are not going to carry them in store anymore, I don't know if we have any facts to back that up. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, and definitely here in Michigan, we don't get those deals. Ours are full price. I think I got my Galaga for like $250. They marked it down for one. I don't even think it was a day, and somebody made a mistake and they marked it back up to $299. Here is full price, no matter where you're at in the state, and we don't get those bargains that other people are seeing around the country. So there's definitely markets for people to pay full price, and they take advantage of it because we don't get the clearance at all.
Yeah. What do you think, Mark? Or you think Arcade 1-Up is done inside Walmart? Is it online only, or do you think that's just an urban myth?
No. I like I said, I think Burger Time was a proof of concept, and discounting the COVID stuff, which I think is the only reason why all these huge delays are going on right now. If that hadn't been around, they would have had a better understanding on whether or not they can turn this into a DTC company
Mhm.
And then if that's the case, then obviously they would do that because they get to keep 100% of the profits instead of having to sell to a retailer. So, but
Well,
do I think they're done right? No, I don't think they're anywhere remotely close to being done in retailers right now, but I think that's what they're slowly trying to go to.
Yeah.
now they sold the Marvel cabinet. What was the edition that they sold from their
Special
website?
the limited edition.
Right, the limited edition. So that was pretty successful. They didn't have
Yeah.
a whole lot of problems getting those out. But the thing is, Arcade One Up is still not in everybody's face. You know what I mean? So for them to pull it from stores and just rely on their website, I don't think that's going to be great because a lot of people just don't know about them. And once
Right.
everybody in the world has one and know about it, then that's a different thing. For people to get their second, third to 10th one directly from Arcade One Up. But I think they still have to have that marketing that Walmart and GameStop and other people that they put them in. Target has a few, you know what I mean? So I think they still have to have that indirect in the masses' faces to make that initial contact.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of people who, their first time customers they see it in store. They're not on YouTube. They're not in our Facebook groups. They're walking through the store. And that's how I got my first Arcade One Up. I had no idea there were all these Facebook groups and all these YouTube guys. I was walking through a store. I saw a Street Fighter cabinet in the electronics section. And I said, damn, that's awesome. I would love to have that. And the rest is history. But that's how you get customers having that product in store. Now, Arcade One Up, of course, now things are heating up for them. They got the Pac-Man cabinet just released. They have NBA Jam coming out in 2 weeks. And then the Burger Time cabinets are coming out as well. They should be shipping within a couple of weeks for those who are missing them. And not only that, they're also, flexing their muscles a little bit. I've noticed that when some of these guys from other companies are on like talking head shows, Arcade One Up is in the chat room making comments, which, I don't know if that looks good or bad. I mean, to me personally, I'm like, a lot of these talking head shows have given Arcade One Up a platform and had them on as guests. And I haven't seen the other companies in their chat making comments, but I'm seeing that from the Arcade One Up folks. Do you guys agree with me that Arcade One Up, you're the king of the mountain? You probably don't need to do that. What do you guys think?
No, I want them to do that.
Oh, you do?
Okay. I do. I want them to do that, depending on what the responses are, obviously. But I want them to do that because them listening to the community is why all of these changes from Generation 1 to Generation 2 happened, and why the changes from Generation 2 to Generation 3 happened. Mm-hmm. Why they ended up sending out the gates to the Burger Time free to customers, because the customers were complaining, the ones of us that do have Burger Time, you can't play it with those eight-way sticks. You have to have the 4-way restrictors on it. So them being that active in the community is why it's free market research, and they're smart. They can make the changes so that every generation of these cabinets are going to have improvements from the previous one.
Yeah. But Kev put a comment here. Who asked for a light up deck protector from the community? That's kind of funny. I don't know where it came from, and we still don't know what it looks like in person yet. So
well, I agree. That's an episode of fix shit that's not broken. Yeah. I don't know why anybody want that, but hey,
right,
whatever.
Well, and we can't tell until we see it. So
right. But don't misunderstand my. Let me rephrase my question. Is when it comes to the mudslinging, and are we really going to see these companies try to go to war with each other when they, in my opinion, they don't need to? There's plenty of customers for all of them. Just do your thing, right? Is a lot of these talking head shows have put Arcade One Up. Like this episode is dedicated to Arcade One Up, and they give them a platform to market their product. And I don't see iiRCade, Toy Shock, AtGames, MyArcade, Numbskull. I don't see any of these companies in the chat rooms kind of like making jokes and side comments and being kind of demeaning towards Arcade One Up when it's Arcade One Up's time to shine, right? But when I see these other companies on a talking head show, and this time is dedicated to them, I see Arcade One Up employees in the chat making comments and, kind of being a little demeaning, in my opinion, towards these other companies and what they're selling. You had your time. Let this company have their time. You don't need to be involved in that chat, is what I'm trying to say. And that's just, maybe that's just my personal point of view. But I don't think it's a good look for them. You're already king of the mountain. You got nothing to worry about. Arcade 1-Up, in my opinion. Does that kind of rephrase that a little bit better?
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't change my opinion.
Yeah, I don't
when
think
when you have your opponent down, you put your foot on their throat. You don't help them back up.
Oh, look at that! Crush them. This is why. This is why this is the Arcade War episode. Kill them all.
Yeah, I mean, Arcade 1-Up recently sold over 1 million cabinets. I don't know how long that's going to take for any of those competitors to come anywhere close to 1 million cabinets. Because, like Mark said, what's the cabinet behind you there? The Ultimate Legends Ultimate. They're not looking for people to have more than one. You know, I don't think iiRCade is looking for people to have more than one. So they're not in the same battle. They're not fighting the same the war. So you know, that comes down to individuals. If they're going to go into a chat room or a forum and start talking some smack, you know, what I mean, you know, I don't think there's right or wrong. That's just their.
No, which I've been known to do a time or two.
But yeah, so my and then also, but you know, let's get off arcade. Let's talk iiRCade. iiRCade. If you guys don't know who Keo Daikin is, I recommend you check out his YouTube channel. Keo posted a wonderful video, I think just yesterday, about iiRCade and their marketing. So iiRCade, instead of just coming in and selling their product, they come in and in their recent advertisements that were like if you're on Facebook, it's popping in your newsfeed. If you're on their Instagram or Twitter, they're making a lot of boasts about their products, such as originally it was the first connected arcade, which it wasn't. That was AtGames. And then they said this is like the first arcade you can play modern games on, which it's not. And Keo pointed out in his video all the different ways you could play it. And then also, but they made comments where they said, you know, if you ever want to play more than one arcade game, instead of having to buy a whole new machine, you could just use our platform and, you know, download a new game. Basically taking a shot at Arcade 1-Up, because Arcade 1-Up, if you get bored of the 3 to 5 games on the cabinet, guess what? You're stuck unless you want to mod it, right? But that's it. You get 3 to 5 games forever unless you want to actually mod your cabinet. But iiRCade took a shot at them saying, if you get bored of your games and want to play something new, you don't have to buy a whole new cabinet. You just need to download a game. So that was a little shot at them. But then again, later on in that advertisement, they said, and by the way, all of our games are legally licensed, which, you know, they're trying to throw a little sling at AtGames, because AtGames doesn't really promote piracy, but in all honesty, they've given keys to a door, right? Like you can, we're going to give you the ability to play another device on our machine. Now, it doesn't mean they're telling you go get pirated software. We're the
plausible deniability.
Right. It's plausible deniability. We're the ones getting pirated software and then playing it on that device that they gave us access to play on our machine. So, you know, that's what AtGames is doing. So let me know what you guys think. Is iiRCade, are they maybe punching up a little too soon towards their competition? Or what do you or do you think that, hey, if I'm going to come in, I'm going to puff my chest and say, buy my product? What do you guys think?
Well, I think they have to do something because they hadn't even made a dent into the market. I'll give you an example. Back in the day, I had a website called Palm Loyal, and it dealt with the Palm Pilots. Remember those devices?
Yeah.
And when the Palm Pilots came out, the problem with it was hard as heck to get the software on it. And then Palm didn't have a store initially, and all these other websites came out with stores, and you had to go to there and download and zip it. You had to figure out how to unzip it. And then they started a store, which Apple came along and did the same thing. And the whole idea that you have this store that I can just click a button and buy something was a whole lot more efficient than having to go to this unknown website, get some software, download it onto your system for the masses. So from a masses standpoint, it makes sense what iiRCade is attempting to do, because I can just simply go to my device, go into a store, click on something I want to buy and click it. That's a proven recipe for success if they can pull it off. If they are successful with it, I think that it is not very hard for Arcade 1UP to emulate a similar system. So I don't think that it's going to do what they intend for it to do. But I think for this market, I think it's an excellent ideal to do if you can be successful with it.
Right. What do you think, Mark, about iiRCade? This is where Mark goes full twig. I better hear a Duran Duran comment. I want to hear it.
Everything about that piece of shit is hot garbage. The ad campaign, the aesthetics of the boombox looking piece of shit, bar top, the lying about everything in their ads about being the first to do what? You weren't even the first this fucking week.
Oh, man.
And I'm trying to filter myself because it's the Ouya 2.0.
Mark, just in the last 2 minutes, you cost us all.
All right, well, fuck
so
it,
just
man.
keep going.
It is the reincarnation of the Ouya. If you don't have enough confidence in your fucking product to fund it yourself and you rely on a Kickstarter,
yeah,
then that thing's dead on arrival anyway. And it's ugly as fuck. That thing is the fat girl that you go to the prom with because all the other good ones are taken. There are so many different ways to play video games. That would be the last thing that I would want. I'd pick an Ouya. I'd buy an Ouya on eBay and play that Android Cube before I would touch that piece of shit.
Well, tell us what you really think, Mark.
Oh, man. So, full disclaimer, guys, I forgot to mention in the show notes that this episode will not be safe for kids. But this is why I love Mark. This is why I love Mark. And Mark and I were talking offline about this. Like, Mark will give it to you straight. Mark will even message me. Mark and I are friends, but Mark will message me and be like, this video is a piece of shit that you just did. And, and I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, so Mark, I appreciate it, man. I mean,
like I'm one to talk. I use fucking sticks for my rating system when I do videos.
Oh, sticks? I give it.
Yeah, because I'm Twig. So
twigs. Yeah, you use
exactly.
Twig. But there's nothing.
But realistically, they're fucking sticks. I get out of my yard after I cut my grass. Oh, that's what I'm going to use for my rating system this week.
Yeah. So iiRCade definitely has a big hill to climb when it comes to winning over this particular community. The same 10 to 15,000 guys who all, hang out in this community. But I do think that they will end up selling some cabinets to casual gamers because let's be honest, some people just want to say, I'll give you $1.99 and boom, I now own Pac-Man and it's on my device or whatever the game may be. And also too, folks who say AtGames, when they fully launch ArcadeNet and you have the ability to buy and download games that no one's going to buy them, you're wrong. There's a lot of their users who are waiting for that feature. And yeah, they're gonna buy games because they don't want to go through the whole process of building a UC file, connecting a Raspberry Pi, connecting a PC. They just want to point, click, and play. So it's probably going to happen for ArcadeNet as well. Now, are they going to be tremendously successful? Time will tell, right? Time will tell. Now, but we're going to talk about everybody. Now, here's the one who's been kind of quiet is Toy Shock, right? So Toy Shock has been very, very quiet since CES. I reached out to Jeff and I got some updates for the community. He let me release the updates early in advance of them actually putting the stuff on their website and stuff. But in all fairness, they definitely need to get their website updated. They definitely need to communicate, send out emails, put marketing posts out there. Here's my problem with Toy Shock is there's no marketing, right? Like if it wasn't for YouTube guys making videos such as myself, there'd be no marketing. Like no one knows what's going on. Right. So I think Toy Shock needs to jump on the ball there. What do you think, Carl? Because I know you have a Toy Shock machine. It's sitting right behind you. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I've said that before. Minus you, I haven't heard anything about Toy Shock. So yeah, they're not doing a great job. They fell asleep at the wheel. They came out with a great idea. People have been starving for virtual pinball, or at least pinball, at an affordable price. And there's definitely room to go, the premium version to pay twice as much, and people will still buy them if it's a good product. So it's definitely a untapped market there, and for them to fall asleep at the wheel is pretty discerning.
Right. Yeah. So for instance, Kev said YouTube advertising only goes so far. Like I've made plenty of Toy Shock videos. They only have maybe between all the videos, 20,000 views total. I mean, that's not enough. You definitely need to have a marketing presence. I mean, that's one thing you can't say about iiRCade is they're spending the dollars to have notifications pushed on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I can't, every time I scroll a news feed on a platform, I see an iiRCade advertisement.
Yeah, so they're spending their money on advertising. Right. Hey, come buy my product that now you have to fund with a Kickstarter.
Yeah,
so instead of using their money on push notifications, put it on their fucking R&D. How about that?
Yeah. So, I like this. Rexer from the Rexer Show. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. They did fall asleep. They had to lead and are blowing it. So yeah, definitely. I hope to see Toy Shock. I think if they push their marketing and improve their marketing, they'll improve their standing a bit. The machines themselves are already going to be improved. The product will speak for itself when it's re-released. But they need to get on the ball with communicating to the community as well as just in general, just push Facebook, Instagram, Twitter advertisements like their competitors are doing.
So their information lag matches the input lag. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the input lag has been fixed, so we'll definitely see about that. So, oh, by the way, Mark, Dr. Zohar says you should be a stand-up comedian. I agree with him. I would love to see that show. And taking a look here, it's hard to keep up with the chat, guys. I really appreciate all the comments. Trying to get as many of them shown as I can. Really appreciate it.
I thought Zohar left.
Oh no, he didn't leave. You convinced him to stay.
Zohar's a lurker.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
Oh, I love Zohar. He knows I'm kidding.
Yeah. So, and with the with the AtGames Legends Ultimate, just a heads up, for those of you who have the AtGames Legends Ultimate and you have a Pixelcade marquee, definitely stay tuned to my channel. You'll notice my Pixelcade marquee is missing, because we're doing a modification to it, and when I post the video on it, you guys are gonna be really excited about it.
It's gonna have Pornhub on it.
LED porn while you're playing video games. That would be hilarious.
Well,
just like back in the day.
Absolutely.
Back in the day with the GIFs.
Oh. Hey. Yeah. So, but yeah,
the signal be scrambled like the Playboy channel when you have a satellite and you're trying to get in it. You get like 2 seconds of video followed by that red, blue, wavy stuff all over the screen.
The chat's really flying, Mark, and everyone says it's because you got the chat fired up. So this is why we brought Mark on for the cold hard truth, which I greatly appreciate it.
Well, okay. I'll have to go back. I don't have chat up on my phone, so I'll have to go back and read them.
Okay, so let's kind of put a final thought about this. That way we can move on to Metal Slug and talk about the arcade game of the week and all that kind of stuff. So let's kind of all put our final thoughts on it. My final thoughts is it's okay to own them all, right? Like I have arcade 1-ups and the AtGames Legends Ultimate. I don't hate one company more than the other. And I understand that like AtGames is a multi-cade, whereas the arcade 1-ups are designed to be a static machine. And I just think that, it's okay to have them both. You don't have to pick one or the other. Pick both, But also when it comes to, arcade 1-up, you're king of the mountain. You don't need to puff your chest. You don't need to beat your chest like you're King Kong. You're already king of the mountain. These companies are so far behind you that there's no reason for them to resort to anything demeaning or anything like that. Just keep doing what you're doing and all that kind of stuff. And Toy Shop,
for me, I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah. And iiRCade, I think they need to reevaluate their marketing approach. I think there will be a market for that product, but is it going to be a serious contender? Probably not.
People in prison, they'll love it.
Right. And whereas iiRCade is doing too much marketing, Toy Shock is doing none. So Toy Shock definitely needs to step up their marketing game and let people know, hey, we're coming. We're coming. We got an improved product. We want to earn your trust, your dollar. they got to get the marketing train moving. So those are my final thoughts. Carl, let's go to you, and then we'll wrap it up with Mark.
Well, like I said before, I don't have a problem with anybody throwing some punches. Marketing is a tough gig, right? You gotta, and you only get your 15 seconds of fame if that's if you're able to get that. So I don't have a problem with people taking advantage of the situation. I think Arcade One Up is doing a great job as it is. I love most of the cabinets that they've produced. I'm not the type of person that has to have a lot of cabinets. I don't need to have every one. That is definitely not my where I fit into it. But I love these cabinets. I like the size. I wouldn't have had an arcade, or even this is an arcade. I got 4 machines back there. I wouldn't have had these without arcade coming into the market. So I'm appreciative of it. It's something I've always wanted. I've had the Raspberry Pi hooked up to my TV for years, playing arcades on the couch, but that's not how I play arcades. So I like to stand at a cabinet and play. That's the way I grew up with it. So, again, iiRCade, I appreciate those guys coming to the market. If they can be successful with the pay to play model, I think the ultimate arcade people are going to steal that as well. I think Arcade One Up take that as well if it's successful, and I think it'll benefit us all in the end. Toy Shock definitely need to get off their butts and start marketing and getting their product, because I have my 3/4 scale group, and people come on there and say, hey, I don't have any need to modify it. I like it as it is. Like I said, the market is huge there. Most these machines cost anywhere from $1,400 to $2,400 for a virtual pinball machine. People have money in their pockets willing to give it to Toy Shock or Arcade One Up or whoever makes this thing and do well with it. So they need to do better with marketing. And I think they need to get them into some stores too, so people can see them as well.
Yeah. Instead of being online only.
Right.
Before we get Mark's final thoughts on these companies, Dr. Zohar, $1.99 super chat. Thanks so much. He says his final thoughts: Mark should do comedy. Oh, and real quick, Well Played Games. They were at a toy show. They said, hey, we're coming out with something, Michael B. And since then, crickets. So I'm not even going to include them until we know they're actually going to release something. So we'll do that. Okay, Mark, take it away. The world is your oyster.
Well, as far as the marketing goes, you know me. Everybody that knows me knows that I call a spade a spade. If Arcade One Up it wants to come on there and step on the throat, I'll push the foot down.
Nice.
Simple as that. They are the king of the mountain for a reason, because they make quality products. And when they don't make quality products, they improve them. Are they the fastest? No. But a lot of the people that are complaining about Burger Time don't understand COVID.
Right.
Once that's over with, then they'll go back to their normal delays. But anyway. And AtGames, if I had the money, I would make room for an AtGames. I would. Because it's a different experience.
Correct.
It's a very different experience. Would I sacrifice any of my 9 Arcade One Ups? Absolutely not. I'd kick one of the kids out and put the arcade cabinet there. Arcade. I would never purchase. You can't. There's not Angel. No matter who it is, Angel couldn't make a marquee good enough that would hide that hideous boombox shit.
Right.
I don't need a bar top. If I want a bar top, Arcade One Up has bar tops. If I want a bar top that plays multiple games, I'll just mod that one.
Right.
So there's no need for a bunch of fucking iiRCades. There's no need for that. It's garbage. And then on top of that, they're asking the customers to fund their project. Fuck that.
Wow.
You have a product, you want to sell it, you build the bitch.
I'm at a loss for words, Mark.
Well, I agree with Mark. I have zero interest in the barcade. I just don't see. That's not how I play arcade. I don't want to sit down at a table or stand there. And I gotta go find a table that's gonna give me the right height so this barcade to play it. I don't get barcades. I never have. Now I did like the concept of the countercade. The Arcade One Up came in where you can put it on the back of your door and things like that. I like that a little better, but the but the tabletop arcade, to me, it just doesn't. It's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I'm into.
And again, folks, my apologies if anyone's upset with the explicit nature of this episode, obviously, but it is the arcade war. This is an extreme episode.
I said Mayday, Mayday, Mayday at the start. You didn't get it?
Yeah, that get your kids out of the house. Get your kids out of the house.
Right.
Okay, guys, let's switch over to something a little bit more fun. So let's talk about
violent.
A little bit more fun and just as violent. Metal Slug, the Metal Slug series. I definitely want to see your comments in the chat, guys, about Metal Slug. I'm also going to do a giveaway, so stay tuned for that. Don't jump off. So let's kind of talk about Metal Slug. And one of the main reasons Mark is on this episode was not just to tell us what he thinks about the arcade, the state of arcades. Is Mark, you are a huge fan of Metal Slug, correct?
I am.
And
I'm a huge SNK fan in general, but I love Metal Slug.
Yeah. Now, do you like Metal Slug 1 or do you like them all? Is there a favorite of yours? Which do you prefer?
I prefer number 2.
Okay.
I love how the series changes the sprite. They don't really necessarily change the sprites, but they change the scenery and everything. I mean, one Metal Slug you'll be fighting riding a camel. Another one you'll be fighting, inside of a tank. Another, they're just fabulous. But 2 is my favorite. But it's only, and they're all great. I love them all. Yeah. But 2 is great.
Well, Mark, just so you know, Zohar says because you like Metal Slug, he likes Metal Slug. He doesn't want to get you upset. Now, I'm actually seeing folks in the chat also agreeing that number 2 is their favorite. I might be the oddball guy. I love Metal Slug X. I just posted a video, my top 5 games to play on the Neo Geo Mini, and Metal Slug X was my number 1 pick.
Is that the one where they're in the boat? I can't remember.
No, not the boat. It's the one. It's like more like in the Middle East. You're riding camels.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm.
In that game, they added some really cool weapons, like the chaser weapon, which is my favorite weapon. It's just all these homing rockets that you just fire up, and it kills everything on the screen. But yeah, Metal Slug X is my favorite. But keep in mind, Metal Slug came out in what, 1996? Mm-hmm. In a 13-year time period. I think they ended the series at Metal Slug XX. So how many games total? It wasn't actually 20, but well over 10 or so games.
I believe it was right at a dozen. I haven't done research on it, but I believe it was about a dozen titles.
Yeah. So I mean, a 13-year franchise with a number of titles, and they kept getting funnier and funnier as they go. Zohar gave us another super chat. Zohar, I really appreciate it. You think Arcade 1-Up will announce a Neo Geo cab soon? Let's answer his question before we. Well, it actually pertains to this as well because Metal Slug is SNK. In my opinion, I don't know. I think they were. If you guys remember, it was over a year ago. Like an SNK cabinet got leaked, and then we never saw it again. And I think that was a true leak. And I think that Arcade 1-Up maybe, that maybe hurt that relationship a bit because... Yeah,
if memory serves, it was a mock-up, and Neo Geo got kind of pissed off, and I think that kind of soured the potential there. I think the intent was there, but I think that leak caused a rift, and maybe another year down the road, they can revisit that. But I think that is a license they can get, not like fucking Donkey Kong, which you're never going to fucking get, so quit asking.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I don't think Arcade 1-Up is going to turn down any licensing that they can secure. Obviously, I think Mark had a question on his page about that. Yeah, I would love to have a Donkey Kong, but we know it won't happen. But Arcade 1-Up, if they get the licensing for it, they'll make a cabinet for anything that's available for sure.
So yeah, I do think Arcade 1-Up will make a Neo Geo cabinet. I just think it's been unfortunately delayed due to that leak that happened last year. But that's just speculation.
But the unfortunate thing is, I think the first cabinet they would make would be something with nothing but King of Fighters, and we've already got fighters out the ass.
Oh,
so
too many fighters.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling it would be the King of Fighters would come out first before Metal Slug, but who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys want Arcade 1-Up to make for their next cabinet, if you want it to be a shooting cab, check this out, guys. Since this is an explicit episode, if you guys want Arcade 1-Up to make a shooting cab next, put a 6 in the chat. If you want Arcade 1-Up to put their next cabinet to be a racing cab, put a 9 in the chat. And that way, I just want to see the 69s fly. But yeah, guys. So, yeah, let us know in the chat what you guys want to see next from Arcade 1-Up. Yep, there we go. We got our 69s flying. I appreciate it, guys. In all honesty, I think we've had enough fighters from Arcade 1-Up, in my opinion. I think they need when they did Star Wars, it was like a breath of fresh air, right? Because there's a totally different cabinet with a flight yoke. And then of course, and then the Golden Tea cabinet was like a breath of fresh air because it was a totally different style type of game. So I think, what do you think? Yeah, it's right there, behind you, right behind you. So what do you think, Carl? Do you want more fighting games or do you want them to change it up?
Now, now we're just talking about Neo Geo. I didn't grow up with Neo Geo, so that's something totally new to me. I didn't play King of Fighters. I didn't play Metal Slug. And I'm not a real big fan of the fighters. I don't know how to do any of the Kadoukens or the fatalities, so I suck at that. I'm just a button masher. So if I can't beat you by mashing buttons, I'm gonna get my butt whooped. So I'm not a big fan of the fighters to begin with. I grew up old school with Galaga and Pac-Man. That's my favorite. Donkey Kong, those type of things. I don't have a problem with them, and so it doesn't matter. I think they're gonna make whatever they think is gonna be profitable. So yeah, to me, whether it's a Metal Slug cabinet or King of Fighters, I welcome them all because somebody out there is waiting for that thing to be released and want to buy it for sure.
Yeah. What about you?
Just imagine if they came out with a Metal Slug cabinet that had 3 titles on it. You could have Metal Slug 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, whatever the combination is, and you're going to get 3 outstanding games on that one cabinet. And nobody's going to bitch about, well, there's only 3 on here. Because they're pretty much all the same type of game. They just have different scenery. But they hook you. The thing about these games, the thing about Metal Slug that attracted me the most is they're quarter munchers. And they absolutely do not try to hide that fact.
No.
When you go to play Metal Slug, you better have $5 or you're not getting past the first level.
Right.
And they made no bones about it. They didn't try to disguise that. There's just so much shit happening on the screen at one time. It's eye candy. Period. Plain and simple, and it's fun as hell.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Metal Slug that I found. It's a lot of fun. It's comical. It's just crazy. It kind of reminds me of like 1942 or something like that, where they throw everything possibly at you. You know what I mean? If your ass can survive a few doggone minutes, then you're doing great because it's designed for you, like you said, to pump those quarters in there because there's no way you can possibly get too far without putting some more quarters in there. But it's definitely a fun game. I was telling P-Dubs at the start of the game, it reminds me of a game called Duke Nukem 1 back on the PCs. Just a very simplistic game where you go on just from levels to levels shooting up things, and that game I used to have a ball with. So again, I wasn't introduced to it in the arcades. I only know it through the main type of setups. But I definitely enjoy it. I just won't play it for long because they are throwing everything at you. And I put in, I actually have to put quarters on my machine. So after about 20 quarters, I'm like, the hell with that game because, it's too much work. But it is a lot of fun for sure.
That's the difference. The first show that I did with you guys, when the first game that you wanted to do was RoboCop, if you remember.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay. Now, RoboCop is definitely a quarter muncher, too. But the difference is that there's a dramatic difference. You're having fun while you're popping $5 in a Metal Slug.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're wanting to go postal after $2 on RoboCop.
Yeah.
See, that's the main difference.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah, Metal Slug is definitely fun. They just do a great job with the graphics, the explosions, everything in there is designed for you to enjoy it and just eye candy. I was playing the 5 or X Metal Slug 5. That's a great game. It's just fun. But like you said, you're pumping quarters in there every few minutes for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like after about an hour of playing that, just hearing that thank you in my head as I walk away from the cabinet.
Okay, guys. So because we definitely want to highlight this game a little bit more, I got some interesting factoids that I wanted to share with you guys about Metal Slug. So for instance, Metal Slug, obviously, during all the games, you start with a semi-automatic handgun. It wasn't until Metal Slug 6 where they switched it to a fully automatic handgun. So during Metal Slug 6 and 7, if you play those games, you don't have to rapid fire that A button, right? When you don't have a power-up weapon. You could just literally hold down the button. And they kept that until Metal Slug 7, and then they got rid of it, and they went back to the semi-automatic handgun as your default weapon. I'm kind of curious why they would have that for 2 games and then get rid of it. Is it because it was less exciting because all you did was just hold down a button and it auto?
No, I think it caused quarter loss because the players could go through the stages a little bit easier.
Excellent thought. What about you, Carl?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense for sure.
Zohar, no big super chats, please. I really appreciate them, but you don't have to spend your money on the show. We greatly appreciate it, though. With the Neo Geo Mini out with 40 games, the Neo Geo stick with 20. Arcade 1-Up should have more than 3 and keep it diverse. He's saying Metal Slug, Baseball Stars 2, Samurai Showdown, and Viewpoint. Mark, what do you think about that lineup instead of 3 Metal Slug games?
I could deal with that, although Samurai Showdown is not my favorite. Baseball Stars is very fun too. I mean, I got introduced to that. I never played that in the arcade, but I got introduced to that with the NES, and it was actually Baseball Stars 2, I think I had. And that game got the most play on my NES towards the end of the NES's lifespan in my house. So I could definitely live with that. Samurai Showdown, not really a fan. I mean, it's nothing more than Tekken with swords. So, yeah, or sword, or actually, I guess it would be closer to Soul Calibur. But Viewpoint, I really don't have an opinion on. So, I mean, I'd still get it because but it'd have to be the right Metal Slug for me to want to get. I mean, none of them are bad, but there are some that I like more than others.
Yeah. And so, for instance, too, as we do a little bit more factoids for you, so Metal Slug games, most of them have 6 levels that you have to beat. A couple of games had 5 levels. Metal Slug 3, 5, and 6 had 5 levels that you had to beat. Now, here is our giveaway. Here is our trivia question. For a $20 Amazon gift card, which Metal Slug game had the most levels? And how many levels did it have? And if you guys throw that in the chat over the next few minutes, you will win a $20 Amazon gift card. Which Metal Slug game had the most levels, and how many levels were there?
So we're gonna have a slight delay there.
Oh yeah,
Zohar came up pretty quick with an answer.
Nope, that's wrong.
Okay, but I want to while they're doing that, Cammie had a good point. She says, the Neo Geo cabs were pretty much a multi-K because they always offered multiple games compared to the other cabinets. So with that in mind, her opinion is that if Arcade 1-Up was to have one, they should have more than 3 games because that wouldn't even be close to a real arcade game with Neo Geo.
Absolutely.
Yes, but the thing is that SNK would understand that they would lose potential license royalties if they were to make a 3/4 MVS cabinet where they'd sell like those big, huge video cassette looking things that went into the authentic cabinets.
Right.
Neo Geo is not going to do that, nor would anybody else, and understandably because they'd lose royalties.
Right.
Yeah. So, guys, we have a winner, Brian Zamborski. Metal Slug 7 had 7 levels.
Good job, Brian.
Good job, Brian.
Way to Google.
We'll connect after the show, and we'll go ahead and make sure you get your $20 Amazon gift card. Everyone say congrats to Brian.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So now let me ask you guys a question. This is the one thing that I didn't like about Metal Slug. The only complaint I have is when I have the weapon I want, the perfect weapon, and I accidentally pick up a different weapon and you lose that weapon. Has that ever happened to you guys before? Like
all the time. I lose my rocket launcher when I've still got about 7 or 8 damn rockets left.
Yeah, you're like,
Because
I got the rocket launcher.
Yeah, because I get thank you'd and end up picking up a damn another machine gun. Like, damn, I didn't see it. Because you're paying such attention to everything else that's going around you, you don't see that icon for that power up.
Right. Yeah, because it turns into madness, and the prisoners you rescue will drop those power-ups, and you might accidentally grab one you don't mean to at the wrong time, and you end up with the wrong weapon, especially when you're near a boss fight or a sub-boss fight. Oh, man, that drives me crazy. But then again, I still keep playing the game because Metal Slug games are a ton of fun. Just a ton of fun.
With Metal Slug 5, I just wonder why I keep screaming like a little girl every time I die.
Yeah. You scream like a little girl.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I'm like, what the?
Oh, man.
What's your favorite weapon in the Metal Slugs? Mine's the flamethrower.
Man, for me, it's stuff that's happening so fast. I don't even think I have time to even recognize what the heck is going on.
Yeah, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. I love the Chaser missile launcher. It's the letter C one.
The heat seeker.
Yeah, because it goes like if you rapid fire that thing and all of a sudden on the screen you have missiles going everywhere, blowing up everything. I think that's really cool. It gets me excited. All the destruction. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, and we get grenades in Metal Slug. Let's not forget about grenades. Grenades are fun. Oh, look at this. Brian, he's going to retire from working because he got his $20 Amazon gift card. Greatly appreciate that. Well, guys, we're coming up on the hour. We're going to be wrapping up the show here in a minute. Now, before we do, as always, I give the guests a chance to let us know what they're working on, where they can be found, what they have in the hopper. Mark, you've been teasing us like, maybe I'll do a review, maybe I won't. It sounds like the community wants to see you go full twig on something, man. What do you got going on?
Well, in order to get full twig, I have to have something I review that I can't fucking stand. And I'm really, the stuff that I have right now, I love. So nobody wants to see me be all happy and shit. They want me to see me throw shade. So I don't know. I mean, I may get back in. I'm too busy right now being essential. For all those Karens coming into my store wanting those fucking essential birthday balloons. So by the time I get home from work, after those fucking party streamers that are so fucking essential that they have to come in the store and bitch because they had to wait an extra 5 minutes because the line's so fucking long, I'm usually exhausted when I get home. But I do plan on maybe doing something. I don't know. The most immediate thing I may do is just get on my PS4 and stream. But yeah. There's other things that I want to do. I have to find the time. I mean, I'm literally exhausted when I come home from work. And the last thing that I want to do is, it takes a lot of work to do a YouTube video, even one's as hokey as mine.
Now, Mark says buy the Burger Time cab. That'll get you fired up. But you have that cabinet, don't you? There you go. Wait, there it is. What do you think about that cabinet, Mark?
I love the cabinet, and I love it even better when they sent me the 4-way restrictor gates, which are absolutely necessary on that cabinet.
Good, yeah.
So, is anybody waiting on the shipment of that Burger Time cabinet, immediately contact Arcade One Up and request your 4-way restrictor gates. They take 2 minutes to pop the old ones off and put those on. You're going to get a much better gameplay experience because the 8-way gates were a mistake that they didn't catch. And that's why they're sending the 4-way gates out to replace them for free. So immediately do that, or you're not going to have a good experience with it.
Yeah, well, it had an 8-way square gate, right? And they're sending out the 8-way octagonal gates. Isn't that what they were sending out?
Well, they're 4-way because you can't go there. You want when you put the diamond on there, you can't do the diagonals. So that's the difference.
Oh, okay, cool. And so. What it sounds like you need an iiRCade machine in advance and do a full review on it for the community.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Playing Duran Duran in the background.
Duran, Seal with Kiss from a Rose from whichever Batman that was. Whatever else. Madonna when she could actually sing. Yeah, let's do that.
And it's only $250 on their fundraising, their group funding. So you should
somebody fucking GoFundMe that and I'll fucking do it. How about that? Because they're not getting a dime of my damn money. You set up a GoFundMe or a GoFuckMe in that case. Yeah, I have no problem doing it. That thing's garbage. I mean, it's absolutely. Well, you haven't touched it yet. Well, you know what? I haven't touched dinosaur shit to know that it's still shit.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. Well, I do think there'll be a market for that product, Mark. It just might not be all of us.
Yes, it's a blind home.
It's awesome. And Carl, as always, where can people find you? What can they see? What do you got coming up on your channel? Give people some teasers.
Now here in Michigan, the weather's getting good, so we got to get out the house. So to be honest,
How are the floods up there? Y'all okay?
Yeah, that was up in mid Michigan, so we hadn't had those issues here, but they're getting it together. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad up there in Midland. But I'm outside, so I started to do a video on my golf game, Golden Tee, because I realized I've never done a video on it. So I'm going to be releasing that video here pretty soon.
Awesome.
I'm still yet to put my swivel plate on my Golden Tee stool. I finally got bolts and some nuts, so I'm gonna be putting those on.
Hey,
pretty
one
soon.
studio suggestion, Carl, next time you're on, is maybe angle your camera a little bit to your left, your right, because those two Pac-Man behind you make you look like you're wearing Mickey Mouse ears.
I know, I did it on purpose. Me and P. Dubs was talking about that.
We were talking about that before we went live.
Right, and I was trying to stay. I was trying to stay there purposely.
Yeah, okay, all right, gotcha.
Oh my god, I can't handle this episode. This is probably been one of my favorite episodes, guys. I really appreciate it. And I know, like usually I try to keep things PG on my channel. I try not to curse. Sometimes I let stuff out. So my apologies if anyone took any offense to this episode. But as you can imagine, Mark is pure entertainment, and behind that rough exterior, behind that bright orange street cone t-shirt, is a very cuddly man. Isn't that right, Mark? Aren't you just a sweet teddy bear of a guy?
I have 8 kids. Drop the mic.
Too funny. Carl, do me a favor. Show me how to make that swivel thing happen on the stools. I hope you make a quick video on that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh God, please tell me you're not going to make a fucking tutorial on stools. We already had somebody do that.
Mark, you get yourself together over there. I'm going to do a video and I'm going to send it to you first, as soon as I get done with it, and say, look at this magic. Look at the magic I made.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Because Mark, everybody doesn't know who you know, so they got to know about this. That's why we got to do it. All right.
I don't know shit. I just act like I do.
Yeah. Now,
and where can we find you, P. Dubs? Where you?
Well, I'll tell you a few Facebook groups where you won't find me, but I'll tell you where you can find me is obviously youtube.com PDubsArcade Loft, facebook.com PDubsArcade Loft, PDubsArcade Loft everywhere on Twitter and Instagram. And coming up on my channel, guys, I got a Pixelcade modification video. I'm hoping to wrap that up today and get it posted. You guys are going to love it if you have it connected to an AtGames Legends Ultimate. I also have I got my second aim track light gun. People were asking me to do a video on how to connect 2 light guns. I'm gonna set it up, test it, and if it works good, I'll make a video for it. I got that coming up. And then what else we got? Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing some live streams on Project Core, which is kind of a quasi competitor of Coin Ops. It's a totally different retro FE build. So if you're into Coin Ops, Project Core, that using those kind of programs, definitely stay tuned to the channel. I'll have some videos out on Coin Ops and Project Core coming out here very soon. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff in the hopper. It's just trying to get to it. So
yeah, and if y'all want to subscribe to my channel, go fucking ahead. I might do some shit. Who knows?
Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to YouTube. Get Off My Lawn Gaming. The link is in the video description below. Guys, let's get Mark over 1,000 subscribers. Let's make that happen. You're not that far away, though, are you, Mark?
I don't fucking know. I think I'm at 935 or some shit. I haven't made a video in 2 months, but I mean, I've got things that I'm thinking about. I don't know. I got to get over this fucking COVID shit so these Karens can go back to being normal.
And what were you going to say, Carl?
I ran across a video called a YouTuber called Game Mom 77, and I hadn't seen this before, but she's got backlit kick plates and like the coin area.
Yeah, they're amazing looking.
Yeah, those are awesome. So guys, definitely to go take a look at Game Mom 77. She's got like probably every arcade that Arcade One Up has made, and they all have these backlit kick plates, and the area where we put the buttons wherever that area is lit up, and she's basically putting plexiglass and getting the stickers from who's the guy in the groups there that everybody
Tyler?
buys. Yeah, Tyler.
Mm.
She's getting those things from him and then put them on plexiglass, and they look phenomenal. So definitely go check her out.
Okay, Game Mom 77. Yeah, I haven't heard
Yes,
of that. So yeah, we'll
yeah.
have to check that out.
Oh, they're
Um,
amazing looking.
Now, as a special treat for those of you who have hung on through the entire show, I'm going to show you guys something. This is a personal favorite of mine. Go check out this YouTube video. It's called Metal Slug in Real Life. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before. It's only 2 minutes. If you guys will indulge me, we'll watch it together. And watch this 2-minute video. Probably took this guy many, many, many hours to make. And you have to appreciate content creators that go the extra mile. I think you guys will enjoy watching this. Let me get it fired up here. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not.
He must have used a cheat code because he didn't even touch the guy that he said thank you.
It's so epic. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
What'd you guys think of that? What'd you guys think?
That's pretty
of that?
cool.
Yeah, they did a great job with that.
Yeah, he did. He did. And heck, kudos to him. I've never seen that guy before. I Googled like Metal Slug game footage or something, and that popped up, and I love it. I love it. So what is that?
I don't know. We're getting some feedback.
It sounds like we got a woodpecker. Oh man. Okay, guys. So we're definitely over our allotted time. As always, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Mark, really enjoyed having you back on. We missed you, man. And thanks so much for making me laugh. I definitely needed it after the week I had personally. So thank you so much. And
all right, peace out.
Yeah, and Carl, as always, thanks so much to you. You're such a good guy, dude. You're such a good guy. So
gosh, get out of here.
I appreciate you, gentlemen. I want you guys to know that. So as always, guys, make sure you tune in every Sunday. And Carl, whenever you're ready to say farewell, I'm ready.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you on the web.
Have a great day.